Now the LUMIX G9 Mark II has been out for a couple months now, and after an extended use of time with it, one of my thoughts is this is one of the best travel cameras to date in 2024. And in this video, I'm gonna be giving you guys 4 reasons on why that is. And if you're new here, my name is Matthew Dangyou. I'm a LUMIX creator who talks all things about LUMIX cameras like the G9 Mark II, GH6, and the S52X, and a bunch more. So if you're interested in that, definitely consider subscribing. Let's dive into reason number 1, which is the size and compactness. Now, this camera is not a point and shoot camera that can easily slide into your pocket, but for what this camera offers, you are getting a pretty small size and footprint that's going into your camera bag. Now, besides the point of having a sort of small-ish camera, the really benefits of the size comes into the lenses. This right here is the 12 to 35 lens f2.8, which is an equivalent to 24 to 70 mil to full frame terms, and it is significantly smaller, which I have an entire video comparing this to the full frame version for the LUMIX cameras, and the quality is really impressive. So the reality is you can fit a ton of micro four third lenses in comparison to full frame lenses in your camera bag whenever you are traveling. The second thing is going to be features. For having a camera that has a ton of different features, that's super small and the lenses are super compact as well, this camera does not hold back its punches in terms of features and video specs. Now, there's a ton of different video specs on the G9 Mark II, like 4K 120 frames a second, 5.8K up to 30 frames a second in open gate, a bunch of 5.7K 60 frames a second options, and so much more. With no crops and anything like that, this has a bunch of different benefits if you need a very versatile and very functional camera whenever you're traveling and you want to get the best slow-mo shots, the best highest quality images, and also incredible photos. Now, I'm not a photographer by any means, but real-time LUT is kind of been my go-to lifesaver whenever I take photos, which is really nice. Being able to snap a photo and have it basically be Instagram ready makes it super easy as a videographer who only dabbles in photos. Before I get onto my last 2 points on why the G9 Mark II is probably the best travel camera in 2024, I want to kind of give a quick shout out to Wotongcraft or Wotongcraft. They sent me this little bag that you've been seeing throughout this B-roll, which is honestly really nice as a side little pouch that you can take on hikes or take whenever you are out. It has a bunch of different capacities and features within the bag itself. Now, there is a bunch of different accessories you can add on, like extended pockets and different things like that, but overall it's a really premium, high quality bag that I've been using on little hikes whenever I'm traveling, going out. So I just want to shout them out and just say a quick thank you to them for sending me this bag. Going into the third reason, which is stabilization. I recently was just editing a clip from a while back, and this camera is really crazy. Now, I was full on running with this camera, and I did a little bit of stabilization internally on the camera with the active stabilization, and then I just add a little bit more stabilization in post, and it's getting scarily close to looking like a gimbal. Now, the biggest benefit to this is that you really don't need to carry any type of gimbal whatsoever when you're traveling. When you're using the G9 Mark II, LUMIX has added a ton of different stabilization settings, from electronic stabilization on standard and high modes. You have your boost image lock stabilization, and then just overall 8 axes of stabilization internally into the camera. The G9 Mark II is like the early days of the GoPro stabilization, which was really good, but in a camera system with that you can change out your lenses, add filters, and it's getting really impressive. So no need for a gimbal whatsoever when you have the LUMIX G9 Mark II. And my fourth and final reason is this is a weather sealed camera. Most LUMIX lenses and most of their cameras tend to be weather sealed. So this is freeze proof, this is dust proof, this is rain, snow. So if you're in the desert, if you're in rain, if you're in a snowstorm, your camera's gonna be fine as long as none of your ports are obviously exposed, which this is really ideal if you are a travel photographer or videographer. You would want to know and have trust in your camera that is protected when you're in the elements of nature and things are just coming at your camera. For example, when we were at the LUMIX Collective retreat, I had my S5 IIX all rigged out. I was planning to shoot on that camera all day, but I brought my G9 Mark II rigged down with just a camera and a lens, and then it started pouring, which none of us were really stressed out about, but I just switched to my G9 Mark II because it's being all weather sealed and it was just a broken down camera rig, and I shot without the rest of the day in the pouring rain, which was a testament to how well this camera. Now, I know other people literally will pit their Lumix cameras in, not fully submerged, but pit it on top of water, which I don't recommend doing, by the way, but it's cool that that is able to work as well. Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts if you would use the G9 Mark II for traveling, but if you're interested in seeing my entire review on the LUMIX G9 Mark II, check out that video right here. And YouTube recommends you might like this video right here. Until the next one, guys, peace.